Meet the 9803. I knew when I bought her she might be hopeless. She had a nasty ink spot on the lower corner. Here she is after 2 cleanings. After the first cleaning, I realized she had been painted in spots. So I used a deglazer and I removed the paint. And then I found more ink spots under the paint. She was still a mess, so I dunked her. Between the ink and the red dye on the bag, my kitchen sink looked like the scene of a murder at an octopus convention. And I still found more paint. I almost gave up on her, but I removed the rest of the paint. Then I decided I wanted to make the ink spots look like part of the design, so I thought I'd try a marbling effect. Here you see an example that I did on a light colored leather so you can see the effect more clearly. Here's a preview of the bag where I've done about 2/3 of the bag. On the remaining side, I'll take you through the steps that I used. For supplies, you'll need something to protect your work surface. I'm just using a piece of plastic. Rubber gloves to protect you. Some aluminum foil. Dye, or several dye colors if you want to do a multicolored effect. An eyedropper is the best way to apply the dye. A scraper can be very useful. And of course, paper towels are pretty handy. You'll also need shaving cream. You want the plain stuff, not shaving gel. The store's generic brand will work fine. You don't need anything fancy. You'll also need a toothpick or something to stir with. So the YouTubers I watched would put their shaving cream into a pan and then put the object into the shaving cream. And what I found was easier was to put the shaving cream onto the purse. So you start with shaving cream and follow the directions, and it says to shake well, so we shake it well. And apply it to just a piece of foil, or you could probably use wax paper or something like that, and spread it out to about the size of the area you want to cover for the leather. And then I am using just some black dye, and what I have found is to use a dropper, and I found it works best if I put the dropper in one hand, and then you can use a stick, a toothpick, just something to stir with, and you drop and stir fairly quickly once you've dropped it. Otherwise it kind of eats into the shaving cream and leaves a hole. And you can just stir it around till you get a design you like. And now we're just going to apply this to the purse. So I'll move that over there, and we'll move the purse. And let's see if I can get it right in the center here. And I'm just going to turn this over and press it on. You do want to wear gloves while you're doing this because it does get messy. Just kind of press it on. You don't want to squish it down too hard, but you want to make sure it makes good contact with the leather. And then we can peel it off. And then you can just use a scraper. And a little bit of paper towel. Oops. Wipe off the excess shaving cream. And you can see where we've added our design right in there. Now, you can reuse this to an extent. You kind of play around with it. The more you mix it, the muddier the color will get, but you can sometimes get another use out of it. I've got a little bit of marbling in there. I don't need to add a whole lot of color. And I might add just like a little drop. Need to stir. Okay, well, let's see what we can do right about here. I'm just pressing it on. Hopefully I've got that sitting where you can see it. And I leave it on for 5 to 10 seconds. And we'll peel that off. Scrape that off, see what we got. No, it doesn't look too bad. And that's all there is to it. And you just, at this point, I think if I try to use more of this, it's just going to get muddy and I'm just going to be adding black spots. So I will start with a new one. This you can just throw in the garbage. I think I'll just start with a little bit of new here. I got a lot of black in there. That should be interesting. All right, let's see what happens. Just gonna put it right there. I may have just made a black spot. Yep. You want to be careful you don't have too much color in there. You can also just put it directly on the purse if you're really feeling brave. That's almost more effective than trying to put it on the foil. Kind of need to put it on the foil and mix it so you can get some color in it. This has got a little bit of color in it. Let's see what we can do right there. Got a little bit of black there. Oh, let's use some of this. I don't want to mess with it too hard because I find there's a point where I go just a step too far. I think I'm going to leave that right there as it is for now. So at this point, I'll take a damp rag and make sure I wipe down the purse really well, get any of the residual shaving cream off of it. And then I will put a conditioner on it and we'll take a look at what it looks like.